Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. Or hi, if you're new, I'm Kristen. And today I'm going to be doing swatches, demo, and a review of my very first order from Born Pretty. And if any of that sounds like a good time to you, please take a moment to like and subscribe, and let's get into it. First up is this poly gel. I only got one color. It's a super pale purple lavender, very icy color. It is super packed with micro glitter. I'm using 70% alcohol on my brush, and first impressions of this product are really good. Like, it's so easy to move around. I had such an easy time doing this swatch. It is not sticky at all. Sticky is my biggest pet peeve in the world of nails, or maybe just in life in general. But yeah, not sticky. I loved it. Can't wait to actually make a set using it. And all the products I'm going to try out today, I ordered from the Born Pretty official storefront on AliExpress, just in case you're wondering where I got everything. I've been really curious about this brand because other people on YouTube give it good reviews pretty across the board, so I'm happy to finally try them out and give my thoughts. This polygel is a 10 out of 10. Love this stuff. It looks very similar to how it looks on the swatch online. Now, this product is interesting, but I don't really figure that out till later. So, first impressions, it comes out of the tube really easy. It's much softer than I expected, and you can't really move it around with your brush. It wants to stick to the brush. So, I don't know, I'm just kind of playing with it to try to figure out the texture, and I wanted to leave a big glob in the middle just to make sure that it would like cure all the way through if there was a thicker amount of it. The big glob did cure. It does have a sticky layer, so I'm going to wipe that off. This product is marketed for using as like a nail extension glue for adding full cover nail tips, and it is what I'm going to use today, just a little later in the video. This product also looks very true to color online. The next product is the same purpose. It's for extending your nails with full cover nail tips, except this one's a different texture. You can touch it and mold it around with your hands. It is not going to stick to your brush like that other one did. I definitely prefer the texture of this product over the last one. The sparkles don't show up quite as much as I was hoping. It's similar to the eNail Couture Bubblegum Gel, but just a little bit different in texture. I still find the eNail Couture one just slightly easier to work with. And I'm just kind of putting it on the nail like this to swatch it, but realistically this would be underneath a nail, and I'm just trying to figure out the texture of it. Like a polygel brush does not work at all. And after I cure that swatch, I'm going to try this 5-in-1 top coat over it. This stuff it's thicker than a traditional top coat. Definitely a bit stringier as well. And I think it could definitely work as a traditional top coat. It doesn't have as much self-leveling as the ones that we normally use from the bottle, but in a pinch, I think this could work, and for certain things. More so, I got this to use for texture, not so much as a traditional top coat. So this is more what I intended to use this product for. I'm going to try to put some texture on these nails, just like some globs, and then I'm going to cure it, and we're going to rub some chrome into it, and it's going to work out really well. This is the polygel swatch finger, by the way. It looks kind of similar to the last thing we just swatched, but yeah, this is the polygel nail, and it did have a top coat on it already, so this chrome powder is sticking to the textured top coat, but also onto onto the polygel part of the nail that I didn't want it to as well, but I'm going to wipe that off in a second. I'm cleaning off where I didn't want the chrome to go using some 70% alcohol and this polygel brush. This effect works super well. It's exactly what I wanted, and I am so bummed that I didn't know how to do this or have the stuff to do this back when I was making my Krampus nails, because this would have been perfect for that. Now, to achieve a similar effect, I'm going to try this metallic gel, and it looks so cool in the container, and it works pretty well. I feel like I like the effect of rubbing the chrome powder in a little bit more, but this stuff does have a very smooth metallic sheen to it, which is really nice, and I do have some ideas for using this. I'm just making some veiny kind of lines because I see a lot of nails that use this metallic effect to create, I don't really know what you would call it. It feels a little tribal, a little veiny, but also a little futuristic, a little extraterrestrial. I don't know. You get it. You get the vibe. You're on Instagram. You see the nails. But yeah, I wanted to swatch my other silver liner because most silver metallic liners have a lot of micro glitter in them and they're not smooth. The texture is grainy versus the smooth texture of that metallic gel. Super cool, like this product a lot too. Next up, I'm going to swatch this kind of milky jelly nude color. I got it to be like a base because one of the cat's eye gels that I'm going to swatch needed a jelly base. But I'm very curious if all nude jelly polishes are difficult to get the brush strokes out of. I find it doesn't self-level very well, but I'd like to hear some opinions. Here are my swatches. The one on the left has 2 coats and the nail in the center has 1 coat. Okay, now we're going to get into the cat's eye gels, which is probably the funnest part. I love swatching and playing with cat's eye gels so much. They all have a semi-transparent jelly base with tons of holographic micro glitter in them. These definitely all work really well, although I feel they're not exactly what I expected, but I'll show them with their online pictures in a minute. Oh, and the texture of these is super thick and globby. I don't know if that's normal for cat's eye. I'm kind of like a noob. This was my first time getting cat's eye gels. Well, that's not true. I had one before, but it was nothing like these ones. And it was really cheap just from Amazon. So I feel like these are my first cat's eye gels. And I feel like I always want a little bit more from them. But I mean, realistically, if you do them right, you have the right base colors, they can look phenomenal. Now this one, see, I knew one of them needed a jelly base, but I couldn't remember which one. And I thought it was this one because it looked like maybe it had a clear base, but I was wrong. This one has kind of a weird gray base, and it did not need to be on that jelly nail, but whatever. I'm going to do another swatch of this one off camera just on its own. Kind of wish I had done a coat without using the magnet, just put down the holographic jelly and then cure that and then do another layer and use the magnet over top, because I'm not a huge fan of those bald areas of the nail. That's kind of what they feel like to me. Like they're just empty and I want them to look a bit better. Oh yeah, here's this one compared to its swatch. See, like it is not that color at all. Like they're just not as bright as I expected them to be. See? So lower your expectations in terms of the vibrancy. This one doesn't look anything like the fucking picture. Anyway, I still have a few more to swatch, and this one is so different than all the rest of them. It's freaking beautiful, honestly. It's like reptilian, but also bronze. And when I used the magnet, I had like two lines. I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up, but there was like a green and a yellow. Yeah, you can see it. Isn't that gorgeous? I think this next one is one of my favorites, even though it's super subtle. I'll put the number up in a second, but yeah, this is the one that like needs, it said it needed a jelly base right on the site, so yeah, it definitely needs something underneath it, but it's super pretty. These ones were pretty accurate to the online images, and hopefully you can grab the details there if you're interested in picking up any of these. Okay, let's move into actually doing a set really quick. I'm using these, they're called Extreme Square from eNail Couture. They're gel tips. And we're going to try out this nail tip glue. I thought it would be really great to have something like this that's in a color because my favorite one from eNail that I use is just clear, and I did really want like a pinky colored nail glue. For applying your nail tips, this stuff is actually pretty easy to use. It is like a runnier consistency than I would want it to be, but it still held the nail on. It was relatively easy to clean up around the edges. I did come across a few other issues, but I don't really notice them until later. So I forgot to leave a clip in of me trying to clean up underneath because, if I were to do this with like polygel, for instance, then I would be able to flip the nail over and kind of like clean up any product underneath to make sure that it's not touching like my skin around my nail. But I tried to go in there with the brush with this stuff, but it sticks to the brush so much, and I didn't want to like mess up that clean like line that it creates on its own. So yeah, I couldn't really clean up underneath. It was just kind of like however it turned out under there was how it was just going to be. And I didn't notice it at first, but after wearing these for a couple days, I realized that two of my fingers had like a small allergic reaction to this product because it was touching the skin from the underside. So yeah, I'm not in love with this stuff, actually. And it was around this point too that I kind of realized that it cured to like a gummy texture because as I'm filing off little pieces, they're kind of like rolling off instead. I'm going to show you more at the end, but this stuff does not cure hard. It cures really soft. Like you can still press into it, and I don't know, it's just kind of weird. I don't like the texture before and after curing on this stuff. Oh, so I I actually picked the most boring design, I think. I don't know, I was just feeling really bland and I liked the way that one nail looked with the jelly base and the really subtle cat's eye over top. So that's what we're going to do. I'm not going to show the whole process, but I'm just going to kind of speed through a lot of it, and it turns out really pretty actually. I still kind of struggled with getting this jelly base to look even. Again, I don't know if that's just a symptom of it being a jelly color that it does that, but yeah. The consistency of all the Born Pretty polishes I got too were like thicker than I'm used to, but they're not bad. Like, out of everything, I think the gel polishes are actually the real standout of all the products. Like, I think they're, for the price, I don't think they're top quality, but I think they're good mid range quality polishes. And this is how they look after 2 coats of that jelly color. It looks pretty good, I think. It kind of gathered a little bit near the tips. It does have a sticky layer. I always wipe off sticky layers in between every step, pretty much. And because this polish is thick, the sides got thick pretty fast, so I am filing those down before I move on to another coat of anything. And I'm just going to be doing 1 coat of this polish. I did test it to see if it needed 2 coats with the cat's eye effect, but it looked pretty much the same, so I figured why not, not waste the product, and we'll just do 1 layer, we'll do the cat's eye effect, and then that'll be it. Now, I should say that I don't really know what I'm doing with these magnets. I'm trying to make it look galaxy-like, but I mean, it worked on those shorter swatches, but this is a longer nail and it just has like a whole different flow to it, and I couldn't really make it look the way I wanted it to. So after kind of fussing around for a bit, I ended up just doing like the classic, just the classic cat's eye line. I didn't want to mess around with it too much. I just wanted it to look nice. And so even though I'm trying with the little round thing, I do just kind of stick with the bar for most of it. Okay, I'm creeping in with the finished set. Aren't you so impressed that I made like a basic bitch set for once? Like, it's so just chill. It looks so like not hectic or chaotic like I'm used to. They're like, I don't know, are these pretty? Are they dainty? Are they a little more classy, maybe? Anyway, I like them. They were fun. Yeah, I wanted to show you underneath though, because while I was wearing these, I was kind of like picking at them a lot because you could stab right through this soft texture and I could like pull off pieces of it. It was super weird. And I did end up taking them off a bit early just because that product itself was bothering me so much. So I don't recommend that nail tips gel. The more solid one worked better. But yeah, you'll see my thoughts in some future videos. But other than that, thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. You're amazing. And I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.